Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today, which is May 13th. It's Thursday. Hopefully you guys are having a good trading week so far. Let me just make sure that we cover the disclaimer straight away for these kind of videos. So it's being highlighted there at the top. Of course, important that you understand the disclaimers for legal reasons, but also to understand that when we do these kind of videos, they're demonstrations of how we do things, how we think about stuff. It's up to you if you want to ignore it or take it on board or something in between. So my name's Becky, for those that don't know. My email address there is becky@tradictive.com, or there's also tradewithufos.com/Becky. Now let me just take you to what that page takes you to, which is this one. So once you've come to this page, you can go to this bit, set yourself up with a free Trade with UFOs membership, and then you can come down here and ask questions in a public space. We prefer you do that because then we answer in the public space and everybody learns in the community from the same place. So if you have a question, please do it there if you feel comfortable. If not, you can email me. Also, once you've got this free Trade with UFOs membership, you'll get the email that I'm about to go through. You'll get that every day. You'll get reminders of the sessions that we do, recordings of the sessions that we do, and then sort of discounts and things like that from time to time. Okay, so let's go and look at what we're looking at today, which is this. I'm just going to get rid of my taskbar there. It's in the way, it's annoying me. So let's take that away. Okay, so, and let's come back to what we were looking at there. Great, cool. So we send out an email every single day that has information on 5 of the major markets in the world. Let's move this over a little bit as well so that we can see more of the chart than we can the email. So the email is what we have here on the left, and of course it corresponds to the information that we're going to look through the charts and see what's going on. Now we look at information on 5 of the major markets in the world, and we look at 3 different. That's why we call it a 3D approach. So first things first, we want to look at upcoming market direction. Is it going up? Is it going down? Should we buy? Should we sell? Should we go long? Should we go short? Or maybe we should do nothing at all. Now we use market climate, auto climate, to help us figure that out. That's this. Ignore the lines for now, but you can see that it gives us different dots. We have red dots like that, thick blue dots like that, and then we have some thin dots as well, like that one. Now, if it's a thick red dot, that tells us probability downwards. We should look to sell. If it's a thick blue dot, that tells us probability upwards. We should look to buy. If it's a thin dot of either colour, we do nothing. Not enough probability either way, so we keep away. So again, we use an app there to do this for us and come back and tell us what we should be doing now. So after we've figured out whether or not we should buy or sell, or maybe do nothing, we're going to buy and sell. Where do we do that? You don't just buy in the middle of nowhere or sell in the middle of nowhere. We want to buy and sell where we have higher probabilities. That's where this second one comes in, which is UFOs, unfilled orders. That's what we're looking at there. That helps us with our entries and exits. Specifically, where are we buying, where are we selling? So UFOs are these little flying saucers here. We have red ones and green ones. The green ones show us where we have buy orders. And why is that important? Because there's a whole bunch of buy orders. The more buying that goes on at the same price, the more likely it is to beat the sellers and push price up. And that's what we want. We want price to go up if we buy it. The sell orders, these red UFOs, we want to sell with their sell orders. There's lots of selling going on at the same price, much more likely to beat the buy orders and come back down. So we use this app to identify to us exactly where and when we're going to buy and sell based on where there are buy and sell orders. That the app is coming up and showing us with prices on the side here exactly where those orders are. Now, the last thing we want to know is risk to reward, market volatility. How quickly these markets are going to move, and therefore how much risk or reward would be associated with that. So we'll look at each of these 3 elements per each of the 5 markets. Now bear in mind with these markets we're looking at daily charts. So if you use much bigger time frames, much smaller time frames, things will be different. Different things happen on different time frames. But daily is sort of somewhere in the middle, so hopefully that helps you. Regardless of the style of trader you are, perhaps the daily is something that you look at. We're also looking at the futures contracts for these markets, presentations essentially of these markets. We're looking at the continuous chart for those that follow futures. Okay, so let's have a look at the S&P. Let's see if we've got that there. Let's maybe make it a little bit bigger there. There you go. So we see it like that. Brilliant. Okay, so with the S&P, we're looking at the S&P 500. So we're looking at the ES, which is the continuous futures contract for it. Again, if you don't follow futures, don't worry about it. Just understand that we are looking at a representation there of the US stock market. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so we have, when it comes to we should be looking to sell. Now usually this market would go down for 3 candles and we're on candle number 2. So what that means is, based on what usually happens, we have probability of another day or so where it moves down. That's not to say that that definitely will happen. It's just to say that that's what's statistically likely to happen. Now when it comes to buy and sell UFOs, let's take a quick look here. We have sell orders here at 4185.50 to 4103.75. So sell orders just above us. And then we have buy orders just here at 3983.75 to 3933.75. And we're kind of in the middle there. So depending on whether or not we hit the sell orders or hit the buy orders will depend on whether or not they change price. For the time being, overall probability there to the downside with the S&P when it comes to the climate. Okay, now when it comes to market volatility, we would expect movement up or down in one day of 71.06 points up or down. In 1 week, it would be up or down of 156.43 points. In 1 month, up or down of 325.63 points. So again, that just tells us the volatility, how much we can expect price to move. If it moves a lot, if there's high volatility, that usually increases risk, which can also increase reward. If it doesn't move very much, it reduces the reward, but it also reduces the risk a lot of the times. So it's up to you to interpret what that means for you, depending on how you feel about risk tolerance. But for this tells you what you can expect in terms of movement up or down within these given periods of time. Overall, at the moment, probability there to the downside with the S&P. Now moving on to the next market, let's just scroll down here, which would be crude oil. In the meantime, it says here about back testing, trading plans, psychology. So check out the courses, see which one you think might help you the most. Also, something to bear in mind is that the majority of the courses come with 3 months of complimentary access to the apps. So AutoClimate is usually a free app on most of the platforms you can use it on. AutoUFOs is a paid for app. So for example, the one that I'm using here on TradingView, that's $34 per month. Now a lot of the courses might be $89 or $34 one-off payment, and are 3 months worth of the apps. So hopefully if you do the maths quickly on that, you can see that it might actually be cheaper for you for 3 months to have access to the apps by doing a course. So check out the courses, see which one makes the most sense to you. Okay, so looking at oil, we have a confirmed up. Now, usually this market would go up for 7 candles. I'm just rounding that up. We're on candle number 14. So that means we've gone twice as long, twice as far as what is usual. Now, of course, we can go past what is usual. We can fall short of what is usual. That's how we end up with what's a normal statistics in the middle, right? That's how we get the average. But the further something goes past what is usually happening, the less likely it is to happen. Probability to the upside, but we would expect it to change very soon. So not as many probabilities as we had, say, in the S&P when we looked at it before. Now, when it comes to buy and sell UFOs, we have buy orders here at 62.43 to 60.61, and sell orders here at 69.20 to 68.46. So that's where we have our stacks of buy and sell orders. Again, we're in the middle there, not really close enough to either one of them for them to make a huge impact today, most likely. Overall, probability to the upside, although not very much, considering we've gone past what is usual by quite a bit. When it comes to market volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in one day of 1.50 points. In 1 week, up or down of 3 points. And in 1 month, up or down of 6.86 points. And again, overall probability there to the upside, although not very strong. Okay, so moving on to the next market, which is gold. As it says there about the apps, you can subscribe directly to the apps if you want to. You don't have to get a course. Check out the link there to see the AutoUFOs that we offer on different platforms depending on what you use. Okay, so we have on gold a confirmed upwards climate, probability upwards, thick blue dot, tells us probability to the upside, look to buy. Now usually this market goes up for 7 candles, we're on candle number 8. So we've gone just past what is normal. So again, bear in mind, not as many probabilities as we would like, but still overall probabilities upwards. Now if we squidge this down a little bit, we'll be able to see the sell UFOs up there. So let's take a quick look. Okay, so buy and sell UFOs, we have buy orders here at 1788.1 to 1769.2. And we have sell orders here at 1929.6 to 1907.5. Closer to the buy orders and overall probability there to the upside, although again we have gone past what is usual, so we don't have sort of full probabilities there, but still overall probability up. Now when it comes to volatility, we expect movement up or down in 1 day of 20.03 points, in 1 week up or down of 44.09 points, and in 1 month up or down of 91.79 points. So again, overall probability there to the upside, although again, not as many as we would definitely like to have. It's not a full set of probability upwards, but still overall to the upside. Okay, so it just says here about the coaching that we offer. Now you may be watching this on YouTube, or you may be watching it on Facebook, and we do a lot of free stuff on YouTube and Facebook, where you can watch us trade the markets, explain our methodology, do psychology sessions and Q&A sessions, and we do all of that for free on YouTube. We also have a paid for exclusive coaching, which is $21 per month, which gives you access to more of our time in a closed environment. So you can be in that group in a much smaller group for a longer period of time on top of the YouTube sessions. Okay, so looking at the next market, which is the US dollar. So let's take a look at that. US dollar, very, very influential. It accounts for about 80% of transactions worldwide every single day. So be aware of it. Even if you don't trade it, just be aware of it. It will impact all of the other markets we're looking at and more. So we have an unconfirmed climate. It says confirm there and says no. We see that because it's a thin dot. It doesn't matter that it's blue. What matters is that it's thin, meaning not enough probabilities. Leave it alone. Change time frame, change market. No need to trade a market that doesn't have full probabilities one way or the other. Now when it comes to buy and sell UFOs, we have buy orders here which are new. They hit buy orders from before. New buy orders there, which is 90.335 to 89.955. And then sell orders up here at 91.435 to 91.165. So again, we're kind of in between them at the moment. If we hit the sell orders, we would expect price to come down. If we come down and hit the buy orders, we would expect price to go up. So we'll see how that goes over the course of the next couple of days. In terms of volatility, the dollar is the least volatile of the markets that we look at. We expect movement up or down in 1 day of 0.38 points. In 1 week, 0.83 points, and in 172 points up or down. Let's look at the next market, which is backed Bitcoin. Let's have a look here. There you go. So of course we've seen a big drop off in Bitcoin, bit of a gap down in Bitcoin recently. I think Elon Musk has had a lot to do with that. So we now have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dot, probability to the downside. Again, not surprising considering we've had this move to the downside. Now, usually we don't actually know. We see the stats here. We have no stats. We don't know how long this market usually goes up or down for because it's not old enough. It's not been around long enough for us to have the data on a daily chart and happen. So we're kind of in the dark at the moment about that, but what we do know is that we're on the first candle to the downside, which normally, you know, if it goes down for 2 candles or 3 candles or 10 candles, being on the first one gives us probability of at least a continuous move. So probability down there with Bitcoin at the moment. Now, when it comes to UFOs, we have sell orders here at 57,975 to 54,500, and then we have a buy here at 39,157.5 to 32,192.5. So again, those are where we have our buy and sell orders. Overall probability there to the downside with Bitcoin. When it comes to volatility, Bitcoin is the most volatile of the ones that we look at. So just bear that in mind. In a day, we'd expect movement up or down of 2,962.97 points. In 1 week, it would be up or down of 6,522 points. In 1 month, we would expect movements up or down of 13,578.05. So these are quite significant moves. Again, volatility is not good or bad. It depends how you see it, depending on how you feel about risk. But just bear it in mind. Now, another thing you can look at to understand about upcoming volatility is the FX Street weekly economic calendar and filter by high impact news. To create an impact and therefore create volatility in the markets on those days at that time. You can filter by the markets that you trade, by the countries that you trade in, or the currencies that you trade, so that you can be more specific and nail this down even more. So for example, today being Thursday, we have news coming out on the Canadian dollar and the British pound. So bear that in mind if you trade commodities related to those things, currencies or stocks within those countries. You might want to bear that in mind and either avoid it or reduce your risk or reduce the amount that you trade, or you love the risk and you want to dive in with even more money. But you can use this to help you understand the volatility that could be coming. Now, if you have any questions, you can self-schedule a clarification call, speak to one of our experts about the courses and the apps and the memberships, what's going to be best for you. If you have any questions about what I've covered when it comes to the markets, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership there, and then you can come down and ask a question in this area so that I can answer it there and other people get the answer. Or you can email me, becky@tradictive.com. So overall, guys, that's me done. Hopefully that was helpful. I'll be back tomorrow for the session for tomorrow morning. Hope you guys have a great trading day, and I will see you